Hello everybody, welcome as always to Dexpose. We need to check a few things. Okay, brilliant. I've been stupidly changing lots of things. And then when you suddenly realize, oh, I've got to do something, you suddenly realize a whole bunch of things that weren't quite right. But anyway, we're good now, I think. Hopefully won't have any other things go wrong midstream. We'll see. That's okay. I can see quite a few people joining, which is good. So feel free to say hello in the chat or wherever you are. If you have any other questions and things like that, please do. So in Dexpose, I spend about 45 minutes to an hour, basically just seeing how far I can get with a developer-focused tool. And today is the turn of Rollbar. Let's get into Rollbar. There we go. Yeah, one of the many things I have decided to do over the past day is switch to Safari, which, I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with browsers. Anyway, that's for a whole other podcast, I think, podcast live stream. I don't think it's necessarily relevant to this one. I'm just going to make a little bit of space there. Great. So, Rollbar. What is Rollbar? I interviewed Brian Rue of Rollbar on my podcast/video weekly show, The Weekly Squeak, which you can also find on YouTube, christianschiller.com, and several other places. The audio version you can find on many podcast platforms, actually. So if you want a bit more background about the service, the platform, then you can go there. But for today, I'm going to be diving in and seeing what it actually does and how I can get it integrated with an application. That said, as always, I'm just kind of starting from scratch here for 45 minutes. I don't necessarily have any real world application, so that may or may not be a problem with Rollbar. We'll see how we go, actually. Okay, so this is the website, obviously. There's no mouse. So it's a SaaS company, so we're getting a few pop-ups on the first viewing. Great, yep. And cookie warning. Okay, fine. So they've actually changed a lot of their branding in the past couple of years. I do remember it being quite different. I think the logo has also changed as well. In fact, I think even before I set up the interview, it was a little different as well, actually. So, yeah, they've sort of changed the wording. I can't remember what it used to be, but I don't think it used to be this continuous code improvement platform wording. I think it used to be something more specific, actually. That's a sort of fairly generic kind of term. Anyway, they have a bunch of features, platforms, integrations, and solutions and pricing. So there is no open source version here as far as I know. Let's have a quick look. I don't think there's any open source options. There is a GitHub repository. Let's just have a quick look. So mostly just SDKs are open source. That's okay, that's somewhat expected. It's fine. Interestingly, this is the co-founder here. I hope there's more people contributing to the code than him. But anyway, okay. And we can see various platforms here. And actually already as I scroll down, I saw some interesting aspects here. I wonder what one would be good. I do have a JavaScript project that we could try. I don't have anything particularly heavy. Let's see, there may be a getting started application we can test with. I'm not sure. Let's see. So it is a commercial application, but there is a free plan, actually a free plan that is quite good for hobby projects, side projects. So 5,000 events per month. All essential features. Okay, mostly seems fairly helpful. Without on-demand events. Strangely, nothing is mentioned here about on-demand events. So I'm not actually sure what they are. I guess it's in the and more. So anyway, okay, let's see. Let's go for this try for free and see what happens. Now, interestingly, I wonder, let's just go back a step because this is slightly different from what we see here. This just says, yeah, so this is slightly misleading, of course, because you don't just do this. Down here is the secret. You need an access token. That is obviously not going to work without signing up. So these steps are slightly misleading. That's a point. But sign up processes was always a bit of a pain to developer experience. So it's not too strange to want to hide that sometimes. Okay, I'm going to sign up with GitHub, I think. I might be able to just pull out some projects as well. Okay. Interesting. I must have tried this before. Choose a plan. Okay. That's not the... I might sign up fresh because that's not necessarily the best experience for someone starting out. That's kind of showing that I already have an account. So I wonder, maybe I can just delete the account and try again. That was not really expected. I think I'd forgotten about that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like that. Thank you. Oops. Did that work? I don't know. Okay, maybe we'll just try from fresh. Okay, that was annoying, but not necessarily expected. Okay. Could quickly try again. No. Okay. Well, that's another potential issue. I tried to delete an account and couldn't. So, I don't know. That's a whole other area of potential problem. Okay, let's carry on. Let's go from here. Should really save all this to 1Password. I don't know why I haven't. Okay. Now I'm going to need to set a password. This is not a locally hosted application, so I am going to just very quickly switch away. So you can't hack my account. Well, you probably could, but all right, done. Okay, so and I'm getting this again, which is annoying. I already got rid of that. Okay, setup, create a project. I haven't gone to documentation yet. I mean, I'm guessing with a fairly mature SaaS product, that shouldn't be so necessary. We shall see. Create a Rollbar project. Choose a primary SDK, and we can see that this is going to take us through these steps here, so that's good. Okay. Got to think what I might want to use actually. What would be a good test application? I have a lot of static sites is half the problem. They're not particularly interesting. Flutter? I don't know if that's going to be possible. Could try Visual Studio Code extension maybe. Not sure if that is a valid one. Got some Ruby gems. Not really going to work. What could I use? I need more example applications. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I might just, let's try something like Express.js example application. That might be a good one to work with. Kind of just want to get a good example application. I know I found some before. Okay. Okay, there must be something here, hopefully. There we go, source code. Let's hope this, it's quite old. This could be good though. Errors could be exactly what we want. So, all right, let's try that. Errors are not a bad thing in this particular example. Sorry, I have a slight issue with my keyboard and the V key. All right, good. Yeah, errors is not a bad problem. Okay, great. So, let's say okay. SDK, now we can have a look what's available here. Popular, so that's just, okay, and then backend. So there's actually a lot of different sorts of options here as well, and I'm guessing the ability to separate those, so to have different SDK instance for your backend and front end, which is quite a positive. Is Node is in there, yeah. Okay, mobile. Could we have done Flutter? No, don't think so. Flash, wow. That shows you have been around a little while. Okay. Well, in theory, I think it's a backend. Yeah, could be 100% sure. It is Node though. Okay, so okay. So good. I like these nice copy paste links here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Classic error there. Having the $sign. Firstly, when you don't really need it, and secondly, not excluding it from the copy paste. Okay. All good so far. Let's see how long this npm install is. This is always a recurring problem. It's taking a little bit of time, but not too bad. Okay, great. So it should be installed. Send a message. Okay, well, I guess we need to actually open the application first. I'm going to switch to my traditional 2-column view. That doesn't seem to cope too well with that, but I am zoomed in at extremity. So again, I'm not going to criticize that there. Let's open this up in Visual Studio Code. Let's see how visible is that. I think that needs to be a little bit larger. I finally created a profile for my terminal here for these streams, so it's readable. If I could do the same for Visual Studio Code, that would be good. Okay. Fantastic. I think we can probably hide that. Okay, so where should we put this? This is just a require, so I guess we can put this at the top of. I like it when you have documentation for SaaS companies where the access token is included, because why not? You're logged in, so why not do that? I will revoke that later. Let's pop that in. here. And I guess that's it. Although we now need to start the application. And this is where it's going to be interesting. Will that work through a local application? Not sure. And of course, will this being an extremely old Express application cause more issues? I guess we also need to do an all over npm install here. See, this might. Oh, okay. I think I've forgotten how to start an Express application. Okay, yeah, that was correct. Good. See if this is going to work. Oh dear. But that is actually good. That shows that it picked up those errors, I think. Or not. Oh no, I see. That's this. Okay. So it got our log file here, even though the application didn't start. So that's also interesting in itself. That's actually quite good. Doesn't necessarily help us solve these issues, but it's more of a dependency issue. So that's but still, it's a good indication that things worked. I like this community solution. I don't really know how the community contributed, but I quite like it. One occurrence. I'm guessing if we ran it again, we would start to see different amounts there. Let's just keep doing it. We'll probably see that go up. A browser operating system, yeah, it's not really going to be possible. IP address, no. Okay, similar items. Yeah, now we're seeing multiple options here. Okay, that's taking us to that, yeah. Where were we? Let's get back to, yeah. Would be nice to get some more interesting errors though. I don't really want to start debugging node applications here. I have absolutely no idea what that could be. Maybe we'll get a different test application. Good old cookie notifications. Oh, could have just done it straight up. Let's try with a different one, but that's good to see that it works even if the thing doesn't start properly, which is quite helpful, I suppose. Let's go up a level and start again. Okay. Let's try one that hopefully will get started and see if we get different errors. Nice. Okay. npm install and then on from there. It was a good opportunity to see how it looks when you have more than one application. I'm going to get back to the getting started. Not quite sure. Go to notifier. Can we do it again? No. Could go to the docs. I mean, I know what to do, but it would be nice if we could get that back somehow. I wonder if the logged in token carries across into the docs. Would be cool. Cordova, wow. Again, this shows you they have been around for a little while. No, it doesn't. Oh, you can though. Okay, to log into the docs separately though. And then that took me back to here. Okay. Not quite what I wanted. Don't know. Okay. I'd like to get back to that. How do I get back to it? That's a pain. It'd be nice to have an ability to get that helpful code up again. Either way, in the meantime, I know the first step. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess, and this is the other interesting thing, is when I look here, how do I get my code? Now I've come out of that experience, I'm not sure where to get it from. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be here somewhere, but yeah, it doesn't, it looks different. Post server item access token. So that's what it should be, but yeah, could make the, this is always actually an interesting thing with after getting started guides, the next step stuff is actually often the most challenging part. Let's get that in, and I will revoke all of these. Post server item access token. Post server item access token. Okay. Dashboard, paste that in. Now, hopefully this time it will work. Okay. That's not what I expected. Different for more recent versions. Okay, good. I think things always got more complicated with JavaScript as they went on, didn't they? So in theory, we should now see different messages from a different application, although of course we called it the same thing, I think. So I'm wondering if I wanted to create a different project, is that possible? I'm not 100% sure. Let's just change, no, here we go. Let's change the message so we know it's working. Do we need to, I'm not 100% sure if I need to restart that or not. Let's do it anyway. And I know there is, yeah, localhost. Okay, good. So I can see some things happening there. Okay. Yeah, so again, different message here, same project, of course. Now, let's attempt to call an error, if that's possible. You can do a 404 maybe. So we get a 404. I would hope that would show up here. Don't know. really know. I'm guessing then that it's not. I was under the impression that it was maybe smarter, but actually there's a specific example here for Express. I see. Here we go. So there's a specific thing for Express here. Let's do that then. So the implication seems to be put those, basically what we did, but just have Express later. Seems to imply, I know that's different, that we can use this. This is app listen. That's different here, but let's do that. Okay, let's restart that then. And let's get some more 404s. Let's get another one. And let's see if that makes any difference. No, it doesn't look like it, strangely. I'm not quite sure why. I would have thought a 404 was an error, but maybe it isn't. Exceptions. Is it an exception? Maybe it's not an exception. I guess in this case, maybe instead we would do something like, because there is a specific handler for, I mean it says error, but I don't know. I think there's actually probably something smarter than that. Let's see. So that's the setup. Cover, server usage, rollbar log. Log a message and potentially send it. Greater than equal to the report level. Okay. Is that set up? Not sure. Okay. So where are we? In theory. Okay. So in theory, we might want to do something like, I still wonder if it's actually an exception or not, or if it's just a log message. I feel like it's more of a log message. So let's maybe make it an error like this. Yeah. And that's actually not quite what it should be. Okay. I wonder if we still need this or not. Not sure. Let's see. Let's restart. Generate. Aha. Good. Now, getting some things happening. Oops. So we would like to hopefully, I mean at the very least I'd like to know which page it was. Yeah, so I can see that here. Browse some old icons there, but yeah. And I can see the request, the server, and some other information. So I'm getting the extra information now. What happens if I click that? Oh, it takes me to it. Okay, and the, okay, yeah. Oh, and even more, so yeah. It's all the sorts of information I'd expect. In fact, there's a dizzying amount of information there. Not really separated though. Request and callback. Not really separated here. I don't. Oh, I see. Rec, and I'm guessing the response is the first section, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, and then we could explore it as a query, I guess. Do we get any more information now? No, probably not. We do get this, things in the same application. Okay, great. Then let's try, maybe, so here's the actual error handler. Let's bake that in. So let's try to change this. This is where I probably struggle with my node memory more than anything else. But let's see how we go. Called exceptions, okay. So we don't have any try catches here. It's probably not needed, maybe. Use function. I think probably more like keep it simpler. Yeah, this is basically. This might be enough. Keep the other one just there. How do we generate an error? It's the interesting thing. Really sure how we generate an error though. I mean, I guess if we do a 404 again, it's going to be effectively the same problem in a different way. Yeah. Wow. And we actually do get something slightly different this time. We get the two of them, I suppose, yeah. In this case, we get... see, that is actually much more useful now. So we should probably bypass the default 404. I think it requires a little bit of rethinking about how you set up your application, I suppose. Yeah, so we're actually getting a lot more tracing down the stack here. Suppose. That's interesting though, because it's actually different from. Yeah, it passes to here. Yeah, okay. So we're just rerouting the error to here. So it's still kind of showing us the same error but in a different way. That's interesting. Okay. Now, sort of running close to time, so let's wrap up a couple of different things here. I think we've looked at the basic log messages. We've looked at how we can actually override the default error handlers. Some of the other things that are interesting here, I might zoom out a little bit just to make it a bit more visible. This source control, I think that's going to be harder to do without me spending a bit of time and setting up pull requests and all that kind of thing. Maybe. I think we get the idea though of how it'll look. Can get back to the dashboard to see those steps as well. Yeah, invite team members, no, connect source control. I get the feeling I'm also going to have a problem here because of having the previous account. Let's see. Maybe I should do GitLab instead. I don't know. Let's see what happens. problematic. That's the... Oh, okay, that worked. I don't know. This is obviously not actually a real project. Probably, I think there's some kind of felt like there was some kind of yeah, okay. Oh. 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 Okay, there you go. I think I need to probably push some changes though. Oh yeah, maybe. Was that already done? No, I'm not actually 100% sure. These things look bizarrely similar. That one. There we go. I've got like 3 things that all look somewhat similar. It's kind of confusing sometimes. Okay. This is going to be all the node modules as well. We don't want that. I think we just want that. That. There must be more. Of course, I could just very quickly create a getting-nor file, but that's where's the fun in that? I think that's everything. Part file of node. Month. Let's add that for good measure. Now, the only thing I'm a little unsure of is, anyway, we'll see what happens. We're going to find it because okay, it's not pushed yet. There we go. Good. Now we should be able to. I don't know how quick this is to keep up. No, not that quick. No. This can sometimes take. Actually, I suppose I can possibly just do it manually. Let's see. Okay. Seems to have found it, even though it hadn't a minute ago. Let's hope. What I'm not 100% sure was like what happens next. SDKs, source control. Did all that. All items are live. Okay. Is that the right thing? Is that what I just said? Navigate to your project notification settings. Settings, notifications, GitHub issues. going mad? I'm looking right at it. That's why I can't see it. I'm looking right at it. GitHub issues. Where is it? There we go. Interesting that I've already connected with GitHub. Okay. And then again. Okay. Here's the problem. There we go. Okay, and I tried to remove that account. Interesting that it let me do it elsewhere though, which is weird. So what did I add here? I mean, I could do it through Trello or something like that, but I think we're running out of time. But what did I add to? Oh, now I can't even see that. Where did the version control integration go? Versions? No. How did I get there a minute ago? It's odd. I don't know. Oh, it's under the project, but how did I get from one to the other? It's interesting. So source control integration, well, what does it do then? That's the thing I'm slightly confused about. It's still not showing up either. Maybe I need to remove it and start it again. I think it's more one per. Yeah, it's interesting. The authentication there is weird that one clashes and one doesn't. But anyway, so let's do this again. And there we go. It's there now. So this is per project. The other one is per user. So I don't really know how I got from one to the other. But anyway, project root optional. I think that's fine. So what happens now exactly? Deploy tracking. Okay, well that's something. Seems to be. Does this mean I have to up my plan? I'm not sure. Oh no, it's here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Setup instructions. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot more setting up here than I think we have time for. Although GitHub Actions could be possible relatively quickly. Let's see. Maybe we'll first do a publish a package. Well, it's just this, I guess, is what we need. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. Something happened. And then we'll add this one. To your .yaml file. It's not massively helpful. Actions. Oh yes, I have to go back. Here. And I think I've lost myself already. Yeah. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of dependencies there if things will work, of course. Oh, that looked promising. We'll see what happens with this one. And then we'll wrap up. It's taking a little bit longer. We might get some sort of progress maybe. this work? Hard to know what I was expecting. To get something would be enough to know. I'll close this in the meantime. Just reset this so everything isn't crazy when I get back to work. It looks so small when I picked it. Ah, that failed, interestingly. Build 12x. Build. But this could be good in theory. I don't know. Let's see. No. Did we miss something? Ah, we need an access token. If I remember. Okay, right. Post server item. Okay. Guessing in the environment variables. Yes, okay. Give me a second. Look at my ugly mug. Post server item. Okay. I actually wonder if just double check we've got everything there. How do we re-trigger? I know it's possible. I thought it was. Rerun jobs, yes. Not sure if that's exactly what the problem was. I'll deploy it, that's what I want to get back to. Hard to know how long it's going to take, of course. That failed again. I don't know what's failing though, of course. Could be the GitHub failing, it could be something else failing, it's hard to know. This has always been a problem actually with GitHub Actions, is they're not very easy to debug. Did we miss anything? Also not seeing this. I think the error is something different actually. Maybe for the sake of 14 failed. It worked before, didn't it? That worked. Oh no, it's still going. Ah, okay. I wonder why it failed though. What was different? I see. So that's the access token. Rollbar access token envar. Did do that. Unless I rollbar access token. Should. Maybe we need to re-trigger it again? I don't know. Oh, it should work, really. Did we put the right post server item scope? revoke all these, so just carry on. A couple have already leaked out anyway, so post server item. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why it's failing. Is it failing for the same reason? Yeah. Don't know. Anyway, that's a shame. That would have been interesting to get that sort of wrapped up to see, but I don't know. I can't seem to get that to work, and I'm not sure why. So we've missed a lot of sort of details here. We just sort of touched the surface, but that's somewhat normal, I think, every time I do one of these. So it's coming up to 53 minutes. It's probably enough listening to me ramble. So let's just see. I mean, I guess the argument here for 5,000 error events per month, which, I mean, I don't think any of my side projects would generate anything like that, is probably good enough for many. If you don't mind using a SaaS product, I don't know what the telemetry is like, of course. And you get some interesting features there and the ability to kind of look at how things change and stuff like that. I would be interested to hook it up to a lot of my real world applications, even the static site generators, I'm not sure, to see. Almost, I think, one of the things I would find quite useful is to be able to automate some of the things. I tend to find I forget about problems if I just leave them somewhere. Whereas if I have something like this, that every time there's an error, it triggers a Trello card or something, I'm more likely to actually find it later and do something about it, which is, for me, as a very minor advantage, and also unearth those things I didn't know about for sure. Some of the telemetry could be interesting as well, although you obviously get those in other platforms. And even then, the essentials is not too expensive. It's sort of, yeah, not too bad. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of other competitors in this space now, so you have to look at what makes the most sense to you. But it seems reasonably straightforward. We had a few minor issues here and there, but not a massive amount. And then there's a little bit of re-architecting our application, but not too much. But all in all, it's reasonably easy to get started. I think the documentation, I'm making a little bit of an assumption here, but the documentation looked it looks a little like, yeah, it feels like it's not updated that much, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could be that it doesn't need it, but just some of the things you see, like Cordova, 11 months ago, references to frameworks that are not new. Doesn't mean, of course, that there's anything wrong, but I sort of feel like maybe it's not updated that much. I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm making some big assumptions there. I mean, there are things like React as well. I don't know. Maybe certain bits get updated and other bits don't. It's very hard to tell. And Rollbar has been around for some time, so it could be doesn't need updating. So why not keep it? I don't know. Hard to say. So all in all, I mean, not a bad experience. Whether you need it or not is something for you to decide. There's lots of good customers here, of course. And yeah, I would love to hear from anyone who does use Rollbar to let me know if you do find it helpful. Yeah, you can let me know on any of the channels you watch and consume the stream. So that was the expose for another week. I haven't quite decided what will be next week yet, so keep an eye on the schedule on YouTube or Twitch, also on Facebook /Christian Chiller. You can see the next videos. The other channels you can't really schedule videos, but those ones you can, and I should have that up by the end of the week, I think. If you want to know more about Rollbar, go back and listen to the Weekly Squeak from last week when I speak to Brian Rue. And you can find many of my other videos on YouTube, on Twitch, at christianschiller.com, my newsletters, and several other things. I did do a talk on developer experience for documentation people last week at Write the Docs Australia, so you can also not look at that yet, but it will be on their YouTube channel soon. So until next time, whatever you build it well, and I'll